James Melendez, James a Wine Guide. These wines are next from Irish Vineyards. These are a Pinot Gris, a Chardonnay, a red wine blend, and a Pinot Noir. Stay tuned to get my thoughts, impressions, and point score on each of these wines. Stay tuned. Be sure to give a like and subscribe to this channel. Now, this set of wines here, and also be sure to click on which of the wines you want to see. So I do have some links to each specific time point in case you want to be specifically honing in on one wine. So the site is pretty large. It is 870 acres or 352 hectares. And so here's a listing of all that they have on their site. Now the first wine will be the Pinot Gris, which I've already poured into my glass here. So I think it's fantastic, well priced. And I always say to friends who are stuck on a particular Pinot Gris or Pinot Grigio to definitely give Oregon Pinot Gris a try, and especially this one at $17.99. It's a fantastic price point. It is a really well-produced wine. So this is a low ABV of 11.5%. The élevage is stainless steel, 100%. Clones are 146 and 152, coming from several vineyard sites. The case production is 8,376 cases. So here we go with the nose on this wine. So the nose is very bright, very fresh, very clean. Nose of pear, apple, moistened crushed rocks, and flowers. And next, the palate characterization. So very bright and ultra clean wine, Yellowstone fruit, flowers, moistened stones, and a delicate fennel notation. This is a 92.1. And next is this wine here. This is the Irish Vineyards Willamette Valley 2020 Chardonnay, and this is not a screw cap wine. Here's a back label for you to look at here, and I think it's a handsome, gorgeous wine, and I love Chardonnay, and you're going to see a lot more Chardonnay coming from Oregon. It's always been planted there, but I think ultimately a lot of people are planting more of it, and definitely Pinot Gris will always be a significant part of the white wine cultivation in Oregon itself, Willamette Valley. It's such a gorgeous representation of what Oregon can do that other New World wine regions can't quite do. And that's for a variety of reasons. That's climate, terroir, it is about site and soil content and so forth. So this is an élevage of Surly in 500 liter puncheons, 100% French oak. It is Dijon Clone 76 and Antave 548 in the newer plantings of Chardonnay. It is coming from the Chalice Estate Vineyards, and the soil series is Jory. And so this is a price point of $29.99. It's a lower case production of 333 cases. So this wine is a very appreciable, rich nose. Sea spray notes, as well as Granny Smith apple, a bit of Comus pear, quince notes, compacted seashells, and fresh white flowers, and a bit of nutmeg as well. Next is the palate characterization. Palate has a lovely texture, acid forward, delicate Asian pear notes, as well as dried Granny Smith apple, noticeable sapidity, as well as fresh flower bunch. And this is 93 points out of 100 points. Now next is this wine here. This is the Irish Vineyards House Call Oregon Red 2020 Vintage. Front label, and then here's a back label, Rogue Valley. Now let me pour a little bit of my wine glass here. Screw cap wine, as you can see, and I think the Rogue Valley is something that has yet to see its acclaim, and I think there's so many fantastic wines that are being produced there. Iberian varieties, as well as Bordeaux varieties, some Italian varieties, and I think Rhone varieties, of course, as well. Now this wine is a composition of 36.6% Merlot, 36.2% Cabernet Franc, 14.1% Malbec, and 13.1% Cabernet Sauvignon, 13.9% ABV. Now the élevage is 90% French oak, 11% of that is new, 10% American oak. This is being sourced from 3 vineyard sites, Firethorn, as well as Pleasant Hill and Foline. Soil type is Shano, Newburgh, Camus, and Evans. And so I think this is a really handsome wine showing off the polish that can come from the fruit from Rogue Valley. I think it's a fantastic region, again, for these wine grape varieties. I think price pointing is going to be one that is quite attractive. This is $19.99. So nice, very evocative nose of mix of red bramble, as well as cassis notes, spice, suede, and violets. Next is the palate characterization. Now the palate is expressive of bright acidity, core of blackberry, earthen notes of mushroom, pepper, clove, and fresh red floral. This is 92 points out of 100 points. And next is the Pinot Noir. And the last wine is the Irish Vineyards Willamette Valley Pinot Noir 2021 vintage, and this is a screw cap wine. Back label for you to look at here. So this has a really nice, rich selection of clonal material. So here's a listing. I'll just post it right here so it's easier to look at, and you can stop the video if you want to see the rich clonal selection here. Now, the fruit was gently destemmed in a stainless steel into 1.25 ton open top fermenters to ferment individual vineyard parcels. Once fermentation was complete, the tanks and fermenters were pressed separately and then barrel aged. In July, the lots were then blended. A nose of freshly just picked strawberries, capture of autumnal forest, suede, as well as violets, lavender, and a freshly sanded cedar notation. And next, the palate characterization. The initial palate is giving expression of mountain strawberry, which I find to be a very nicely nuanced red fruit note, as well as the core savory qualities, that is spice notation, a bit of thyme, bay leaf, and white pepper notation, as well as mineral. This is 92 points out of 100 points. So more information on the producer down below, questions and comments you can list there. So I do appreciate you watching. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and WordPress. I will see you very soon. Santé.